Rain Gang family, Ravens flock. Welcome back to yet another episode of Quiet Storm Sports, where in this episode, we'll break down exactly why and what they're telling you about Lamar Jackson and all of these latest, and I can't even say greatest, media narratives surrounding him, right? Because, you know, there's the whole him being ranked number 69 on top 100 NFL players. There's him being ranked behind some questionable names in the top 10 quarterbacks list. And now today, even, it seems like it's like open season now on Lamar Jackson's name. And there's a couple of analysts who I do want to get into. We're going to be debunking basically today, debunking media narratives around Lamar Jackson. It's an annual thing at this point. You just got to accept it. It's mid-July. This is what they're going to do. Okay, so we're going to talk about this and so much more on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. But before I roll the intro, please be sure to like the video. Yes, sir. Like I said, welcome back to another episode of Quiet Storm Sports right here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. I am your host, Sutton Def, and today we're going to get into all things Lamar Jackson, media, narratives, also talk about how Spain shocked France in the World Cup today. They will be advancing. France will not. This and more on this episode of the show. Again, before we dive deep into all great things Baltimore Ravens and more, please be sure to like this video. Replay gang, please be sure to can't talk today. Please be sure to like this video. Also hype this video. I'd appreciate that. And shout out to the live chat. As always, shout out to the live chat. I see our members are in the chat. What's going on, Chris, Ashley, Void? What is going on, family? Rain Gang family is in the house in full effect tonight. Dr. Kush is in the house as well. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, we got a donation to start the show off. TC starting us off hot here with the 20 piece in the chat. Didn't even see that one until just now. Thank you so much, TC. Making it rain. Let's go ahead and clap it up for him. Making it rain here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. We appreciate that, brother. TC says Jason Whitlock has an episode titled Lamar Jackson's Peers Serving Him Humble Pie. Shut the F up. Lamar is one of the most humble athletes you will ever come across. Yeah, you know, before we kick all this off, obviously, and I'm glad you brought this up, TC. Obviously, we've been seeing an influx, a surplus, if you will, of Lamar Jackson slander in the national media as of late. And I'll just say this, if it were me in Lamar Jackson's shoes, I'd be clapping back at a whole lot more of these mofos in the media. Not to say that Lamar Jackson has never done it, because he has before, you know, every now and then. He don't really do it too often. He don't feed into the BS too often. But every now and then he claps back. I think he clapped back at Nick Wright one time. He clapped back at the people who were calling him a running back in the national media, stuff like that. But by and large, for the amount of slander that Lamar receives, he just stays quiet. He stays silent as a church mouse. And this is actually part of the reason why, like, where I'm going with this episode here. You know what? I'm starting to actually love it. As unfair, as just disrespectful, as just straight up untrue as a lot of this criticism is, I'm starting to like it. Keep downing Lamar. Yes. Keep saying he's not top 10. Keep saying that he's not a top 50 player in this league. Keep saying he fell off. Keep saying we figured him out. Because you know Lamar Jackson, while he may not be speaking up and standing up for himself, that's what we do. Like, that's our job, right? Well, he gets to just kind of sit back, wait in the wings, listen to all the noise. Telling you, you're going to awaken the beast. I think the national media this week alone has awakened the beast that is Lamar Jackson. I'm telling you, he's going to hurt a whole lot of feelings this season. Thank you so much, TC, for the $20 super chat donation, making it rain here right off the bat. Appreciate that. World Class in the house. What's going on, World Class? Miss Fancy Pants, a member in the chat. What's going on, Miss Fancy Pants? Let me see. Afia is also in the chat. Says, good evening, y'all. Good evening, Afia. Thank you so much for coming through. Says she's just getting home. Welcome home. Just in time. World class is basically the national media Super Bowl. Yeah, July is like open season on Lamar. That's what it is. But we're going to break down some things here. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to tell you exactly why. And I promise you have not heard this take before when I get there today. I'm going to tell you exactly why Lamar Jackson was ranked number 69 out of his peers in this league. But first, we start with Colin Cowherd. First, we start with the good old Colin Cowherd, because he had a whole lot to say today. Whole lot to say today about Lamar Jackson and him being on the 69th ranked player in the league and what he thinks about Lamar Jackson. Let's take a listen.
There's an NFL Network list of the top 100 players, and I always kind of roll my eyes. We know the good ones. We know the guys, that are pretty good. But there's always a player or two in the list that either explodes or drops. And I think this year, it's really fascinating. It's Lamar Jackson. He drops 67 spots. Now, remember, this is voted on by players. Those are his peers. That's always been his number one support group. Anytime there was criticism about him, and I defended him forever, it was always his peers, his teammates. Oh, he's a guy. His peers, he's fallen off a cliff. He's in the Bryce Young quarterback territory. Look it up. So we were joking this morning.
By the way, I will say this, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. Ever since that this top 100 list has listed Lamar Jackson at number 69, you've had at least 3, 4, maybe 5 national media analysts who took that as like a green light to just say whatever about Lamar Jackson. And it's working because I'm talking about it and a whole lot of people are talking about it. And again, this is just chef's kiss, peak July content. But go ahead, Colin.
The staff, like franchise quarterbacks are a little bit like airlines. Like you're introduced to them and you become a fan. And then over the course of time, there's multiple options, right? You don't have to stick with the airline. And you may be a fan, but they keep losing your luggage. And then after a while, you're like, I'm over it. Like, I'm done. I've had too many canceled flights, too many deboardings, too many lost luggages. That's sort of where the NFL players are, I think. And that's where I am with Lamar Jackson.
By the way, guys, these analogies are so forced from Colin here. I mean, like, I've been watching Colin Cowherd for a very long time. I actually like his work. I do. But this analogy, this whole like comparing Lamar Jackson to an airline that loses your luggage and does this and that. Okay, well, if Lamar Jackson's airline is losing your luggage and has terrible customer service or whatever he said, then what's Justin Herbert? Oh, every time we get up in the sky, we're falling out of the sky? Is that it? Like, we have no sustenance up there? Is that what we're talking about? Because we can go there, Colin. We can. By the way, guys, be sure to like the video. I'm going to let him keep going, though.
There's other franchise quarterbacks I like. Drake May now and Caleb Williams and Bo Nix. And there's just more good young quarterbacks coming into the league. I mean, about the only quarterback who I think is like declining, and it's hard to say Matt Stafford is declining, but he's old. That's about it. There's just too many good young quarterbacks.
What up, Tila?
I mean, Lamar Jackson as a starter used to average 10 rushes a game. Last year it was 5. He used to give you 65 yards rushing a game. Last year it was 26. His sack percentage has gone through the roof. Only one quarterback in the league had a higher sack percentage, Geno Smith.
Real quick. I'm seeing a lot of people in the national media denigrate Lamar Jackson for having a lackluster rushing season by his standards, and then also for taking a lot of sacks. But we're also not mentioning the fact that Lamar Jackson had a combination of two things: 5 to 6 different leg injuries, number one, which is uncharacteristic for him. And number two, a terrible offensive line in pass protection. Horrible. Some of the worst pass pro in the league. Okay. So you can't mention how he's taken a lot of sacks and he didn't run a whole lot last year without mentioning the other two things. But again, Colin, proceed.
It was Lamar. Then it was J.J. McCarthy. He is a declining player, and his rush attempts have gone down since 2021. The old saying, I trust somebody until I don't trust somebody. I no longer trust Lamar Jackson in a big spot. I'm selling my stock. That doesn't mean he's a bad quarterback or even average. He's better than average.
All right. So here's where Here's where we need to take stock of this. He just said he's selling his stock on Lamar Jackson. He's out on Lamar. So I don't want to hear it, Colin, and a lot of the other national media as well. I don't want to hear it when it's week 6 and the Ravens have played the likes of the Colts and the Falcons and the Saints and the Browns maybe or the Bengals. I want to say our first 6 games, right? Not the craziest of tough opponents outside of maybe the Bengals and the Cowboys. But if the Ravens start off the season hot, I don't want to hear it. Oh, you guys sold your Lamar Jackson stock. No, you did. That was you. But Colin, proceed.
Way better than average. But I probably held my stock for a year too long. For years and years, you guys kept telling me, you got to get out of the Lamar business. And I'm like, I know he's not good in the playoffs. 84 passer rating in the playoffs, lower than Ryan Tannehill. There's nothing I can say about it. I think he gets nervous. I don't always love his offensive coordinators in the playoffs. But you got to remember this too. He has missed at least 4 games in 3 of the last 5 years. So now I got the playoffs. He's missing games. He's very expensive. Whole new coaching staff. A declining player who's taking far more sacks. I'm selling my stock.
So in the last 2 playoffs Lamar Jackson has participated in, he's thrown 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions and actually played pretty darn well. Yet, we're still championing this narrative that Lamar Jackson is a playoff choker. All right, Lamar Jackson's a playoff choker. We're still going with that narrative. That's what we're rocking with in the Big 26, right? And then you want to say, oh, well, he's missed 4 games in the last 2 seasons, each of the last 2 seasons. Okay. Now, let me know how many games Joe Burrow has missed in the last couple of seasons. And let me know where he's ranked on the NFL's top 100 list. Because I guarantee you, with Joe Burrow only playing, maybe 8 games last season, he's going to be ranked top 100. Even with him missing the playoffs completely, the last 3 seasons, count them, 3 seasons, he will be in that top 100. And oh yeah, by the way, he is ranked higher than Lamar Jackson in the top 10 list. Oh, well, obviously, Sutton, I mean, he probably has the head-to-head matchup advantage over Lamar Jackson, right? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In fact, Lamar Jackson owns Joe Burrow about 75% of the time. Yeah. But again, keep preaching to me this narrative about how Lamar Jackson is a choker in the playoffs. That was a narrative for 2018, 2019, hell, 2021. That was a narrative for back then. Yeah, but suddenly he had 2 turnovers against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. I implore you, because we want to talk about these turnovers so much in the playoffs. I implore you, go look up Tom Brady's playoff record when he has a turnover or 2. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, or 2. It's still a positive record. It's still a positive record. And I'm going to get into what they're really trying to tell you about Lamar Jackson here in a second. But Colin, proceed.
And I always think, listen, you can criticize me or not like me. That's fine. I totally understand that. I always think the silliest criticism of me is, well, you flip-flop. Bro, you cling to old opinions. I'm always seeking new information. And watch last year, not the same quarterback. I mean, he'd been slightly declining, fell off a cliff. Maybe he gets better. But Caleb Williams, to me now, is a much better quarterback. Caleb Williams last year had
much better quarterback.
7 winning drives or fourth quarter comebacks. 7. Lamar Jackson had 1. And you can argue, well, he was hurt last year. Yeah, he's hurt a lot now.
He's hurt a lot now. And again, I just want to give you, if he's hurt a lot now, then what is Joe Burrow? What is Joe Burrow? And Joe Burrow aside, because I already cooked him. Caleb Williams. As much as I love me some Caleb Williams, and you guys know me and Alex just did our quarterback tier rankings the other week, and I had Caleb Williams pretty damn high. We had him underneath the tier with Lamar and co. But boy, I tell you, when it comes to the one thing that Caleb Williams lacks right now, because he's got the big playability and things like that, his 5-minute highlight tape for a quarterback is probably one of the most impressive in the leagues right now. He's got the big playability. He just doesn't have as much ability to play on schedule, on time, under control, most importantly. because he can get wild. He can get wild and crazy and make some really big, exciting plays, as we know Lamar Jackson can too. But Lamar Jackson plays under a lot more control than Caleb Williams does. Lamar Jackson has developed that part of his game. But now we're ranking Caleb above Lamar, even though that's a part of the game that Caleb is missing. Again, Colin, proceed, please.
And secondly, he's only had 5 of those kind of games in the last 4 seasons. He's not a great come-from-behind quarterback. Caleb Williams, when everybody in the arena knows he has to throw.
That's another lie. That's another lie. Again, these are all narratives from the first 3 years of Lamar Jackson's career. We have been destroyed the narrative that Lamar Jackson cannot play from behind and win with his arm. We've killed that narrative a long time ago. And you know what? I do have to say that as a content creator, part of me understands what Colin does here, right? Colin is what they call in the industry a tape artist, right? It's his job. It's in his literal job description to craft takes like an artist almost and make them sound as compelling, make them sound intelligent, and like you should be listening to what he has to say. And he's very good at it. And again, this is why I actually like his content, Colin Cowherd. But he's a take artist. And what he's doing right now is art. Now, is it great art? No. But let's keep listening to Colin Cowherd's Take Arts and Crafts project here.
Lamar Jackson, when everybody in the stadium knows he's got to throw, does not deliver.
Also not true. Colin, please go back and look at the very last Lamar Jackson play of the season. With the season on the line, down in the game, 4th and 7, Lamar Jackson drops back and throws a dime to Isaiah Likely to move the chains and put his team in prime position to win that game. You can go back even the 2 drives before that. 2 third down touchdown throws on back-to-back drives. And then again on that last drive, a 4th and 7 conversion. So you can't tell me that when the stadium knows Lamar Jackson has to throw, he can't deliver. But this is why, again, the theme of this episode is debunking national media and their takes on Lamar. Because we cannot let this stuff go unchecked. Some of you guys in the comments, some of you guys might be in the chat so tired with this stuff, as am I. As am I. But damn it, if Lamar's not going to say nothing, I for damn sure will. What about you? If you feeling that, like the video, because we're not finna let this shit slide. That ain't what we doing. Clap it up for yourselves if you like the video already.
That's who he is. I'm selling my stock. I'd take Bo Nix today in a 4th quarter come from behind situation. Bo Nix over Lamar Jackson. Why? Because the analytics and data tell you he's better. I watched Bo Nix go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen in a division round playoff game with a broken ankle. A kid against the best player in the league. So I'm probably selling my stock a year late. I should have taken the advisement. I should have listened to the fans. But when his peers, that was always his strongest support group, drop him 67 spots and put him in the Bryce Young League. It's like, I mean, if I asked you, you were a general manager, Lamar or Drake May today, who would you take? Well, Drake May's ascending. Drake May's just going into his prime. Drake May's inexpensive. I can surround Drake May with more. Drake May looks like he's a better quarterback late in games. I mean, you tell me.
All right. So that was Colin Cowherd talking about how Bo Nix and the Drake Mays of the world are just better than Lamar Jackson, quite frankly. They're better. The analytics tell you that. The stats tell you that. And I'll tell you this. He's right. He's right. Last year, if you take the entire season, Drake May had better stats than Lamar Jackson overall. And I want to say Bo Nix did as well. But what a lot of people don't take into consideration, when it comes to Lamar Jackson's 2025 campaign, was that he was banged up, if playing at all, for about 90% of the season. If you all remember, Lamar Jackson came out publicly maybe about a month ago and said that in the week 3 Detroit Lions game, he had gotten tackled and rolled up on by a lineman. And ever since then, he felt like he could not push or burst off of his right hamstring. He didn't think anything of it at the time, but then the very next week against the Chiefs, he got hit there again, had to leave the game, and that was basically the end of the Ravens season. Because the Ravens had a super embarrassing loss that day. They lost their next couple games. It was just bad. It was just bad. And again, well, I haven't said this yet, so let me say this now. When Lamar came back in middle of the season, the Ravens were cooking a little bit. They went on a little streak, whatever. But for most of November and a lot of December as well, Lamar wasn't looking like MV3 Lamar that we know and love. And we knew that he was hurt. So there were a lot of games of, 150 passing yards here, 200 passing yards, no touchdowns, 150 passing yards and a pick. The offense could not be run through him because he was hurt, which does not happen every season, does not happen as much as some of these other beloved quarterbacks. And you pair that with the offensive line that was trash last season. See, a lot of people just think that the biggest story coming out of the Ravens right now is Ravens got totally new coaches. That's going to maybe fix whatever happened, or maybe it won't, whatever. Maybe it'll go the other way. Maybe they'll regress. But nobody in the national media talks about how piss poor the protection was for a banged up Lamar Jackson. You guys remember some of those games where Lamar Jackson was coming out there and they would show the pictures of how much tape was around his feet, on his ankles? I mean, you would think that he had tennis balls just strapped to his ankles. That's how much tape was used. So no, he wasn't running as much. Yes, he was taking more sacks. And I want to get into the statistics of it all in a little bit. I do. I want to get into the statistics of it all in a little bit. But first, I need to share with you guys something. Something very important. Okay. So as you all know, the NFL ranked Lamar Jackson number 69 out of 100 in this league. And by the way, we have 80 people watching live right now. Please be sure to like the video, replay gang. Also like the video, comment down below what you think what I'm about to say here next. Personally, I don't mind it. I don't mind it for a couple of reasons. I want to share with you this for one thing. How the NFL Top 100 is calculated. Okay, as a lot of you may know, it's the players who comprise this list of 100 players. Well, basically, no, they ask the players, who are your top 20 players in the league? And going from 1 through 20, the person who they rank number 1 gets 20 points. Person who they rank number 2 gets 19 points. Number 3, 18 points, so on and so forth. And whoever gets the most votes gets number 1, and that's how they comprise the list. NFL Network. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, if it's all of Lamar Jackson's peers, people who have played against Lamar Jackson, and they were all forced to sit down and spit out 20 names of their top players in this league, why would they not put Lamar Jackson at least in their top 3, their top 4, their top 5? Because it doesn't sound like a lot of them did. Well, here's why. What matters here that nobody else is talking about, and how this top 100 list is calculated, it's when the voting takes place. Okay, it's when the voting takes place. Because the voting for this top 100 list, as I'm reading right here, it happens during the season, roughly from about Thanksgiving to New Year's. So from about the end of November and throughout December. Okay? So what does that mean? My logic is this. Since the players in the league obviously aren't able to keep up with 31 other teams while they have to focus on their own team and their own performance, all they are going to judge some of these top talent quarterbacks off of, especially if they're not on their team, are games they remember them by. But they're all playing at the same times, right? Well, no. There's a couple of games per year where most of the rest of the league, players-wise, is sitting at home and watching the game. And what days are those, chat? You got it right. Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now, the Ravens didn't play on Christmas this past season, but they did play on Thanksgiving. And so I think you guys might know where I'm going with this. I think a lot of those guys who voted around Thanksgiving time watched that Ravens Thanksgiving loss versus the Cincinnati Bengals, and that really, really hurt Lamar Jackson's stock. It really hurt his stock. Now, I want to show you, just in case you don't remember, I can't show you the film. I just rewatched the game, before I came live on here with you guys. I just rewatched it, but the Ravens lost this game 32-14. And Lamar Jackson did not play well. He completed less than 50% of his passes. He threw for 246 yards. He had 1 interception and 2 fumbles lost. Okay. One of those fumbles was basically in his own end zone. One of those fumbles were basically like right on the 1 yard line, dang near. The other fumble was somewhere towards the middle of the field where Lamar Jackson, he goes to throw the ball, but you can tell he didn't like what he saw at the end, at the very end of his throwing motion. So he tried to pull it back, but it came out. It kind of reminded you of like the Tom Brady tuck rule. You guys remember that one? And he also threw an interception where a ball was tipped going over the middle and it landed right in the breadbasket of a Bengals defender. And of course, the Ravens lost this game 32-14. So what that tells me is that the rest of the league watched that game and said, oh, the Ravens are 6-6 too? Ah, yeah. Lamar's, he ain't got it. He's not good. He don't got it this year. That's what the league said. And that's why you see Lamar Jackson ranked number 69 in the league. That's the reason. That's it. That's it. Mike says the players vote for their own teammates, friends, and themselves. Someone who hasn't played Lamar in 3 seasons doesn't have a frame of reference. Also true. And that's also true that they do vote for their teammates. They absolutely do vote for their teammates. So I can imagine you get a lot of guys who, again, they have to list 20 names. You're sitting down in front of NFL Network, interview people and whatnot, and they've got lights and cameras in your face. And like, okay, Name 20 of the best NFL players right now. They're going to name like the obvious ones who dominated, who were in the MVP talks. They're going to name them. And then once they start running out of names, I'm like, all right, well, let me just get to my teammates real quick. Yeah, so, and that's how you get guys like Cortland Sutton. Shout out to Cortland Sutton, by the way. That's my boy. Feel me? But he does not deserve to be ranked above Lamar Jackson. But that's how you get a lot of these guys, because there's going to be a lot more names that come out over the next couple of weeks, and it's going to feel disrespectful. Each and every name is going to feel that much more disrespectful. That's above Lamar Jackson. But that's why. Because guys start naming their friends and their teammates, people they're cool with, to get through some of the 20 that they have to name. So that's where it comes from. That is why Lamar Jackson was ranked number 69 in the league. In case you were wondering. In case you couldn't figure it out. That's why. Boy says Sutton on Sutton slander. No, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. But it's just in no world should Cortland Sutton be ranked above Lamar Jackson. No world. Absolutely not. Because if that were the case, because Cortland Sutton, his last 2 seasons, he's had over 1,000 yards each season, much like Zay Flowers. He's had a few more touchdowns than Zay Flowers, but that's about it. So if that were the case, you could make an argument that Zay Flowers deserves to be above Lamar Jackson in the top 100 list. But again, it's not a strictly performance-based thing. It's okay, who's at the top of the MVP race right now, and then a bunch of my teammates, guys I messed with, and then, oh yeah, Lamar. I mean, yeah, I'll probably say Lamar. It's that sort of thing. That's what it's going. That's what's going on here. Guys, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. We'd appreciate that here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. This is Quiet Storm Sports. I got more for you guys, though. We're not done. Oh, no, we are not finished at all. Now, listen, this next group of guys, I know a lot of you guys, how you feel about them, but it's not the usual culprit here. There's another guy who I got some smoke for. So let me go ahead and bring it over to the Speakeasy podcast, where they talk about Lamar Jackson and why he deserves this number 69 ranking, I guess.
This is my problem, though. I think he just needs too many things around him. And that's the reason why I don't get the receiver.
I hope you cook this, Karen, because that's a good opening line. I hope you cook.
When I'm watching Patrick Mahomes, now obviously he has Andy Reid. That makes sense. He's going out there throwing game-winning touchdowns in the Super Bowl to Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. I'm watching Josh Allen have the better performances in the playoffs throwing to Khalil Shakir. I'm watching all of these players go out there and
Shakir ain't never had a season like Zay Flowers ever in his career.
He's never had that. And I get that. But what I'm saying is I'm still not sitting here saying, oh, well, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are completely incapable of doing anything with an amazing, like if they struggle, we're usually blaming it on the defense. We're not blaming it on them in their actual playoff performances. And that to me is the frustration with Lamar Jackson. I have to use food as an analogy because it's very near and dear to my heart.
All right, come on. All right, so here we go with more analogies on why Lamar Jackson is not one of the top players in this league. Here we go.
He does this often, Smitty.
I do.
Okay.
He does this often.
If you guys have ever been to a wonderful American institution, an establishment named Chili's.
Of course.
Let me tell you what Lamar Jackson reminds me of, right?
Baby.
Lamar Jackson is like when you're sitting at Chili's, they bring you that El Presidente margarita or that strawberry lemonade in that Mason.
This is good. This is gonna get good here. Let's just see.
Right? Sugar on the rim?
Wonderful. Absolutely. Or the tahini even. We do it a little different in Texas. When you're sitting there with your beverage and you're just waiting for your food, your menu's in front of you, the server hasn't come back. And all of a sudden, there's a sound that fills the air. Next thing you know
what's coming.
It's fajitas.
You know what's coming.
Through. And the server passes it right by your nostrils as they're walking by. You get a nice little...
Okay. I see where we're going here.
Oh, them fajitas smell so good.
I see where we're going here.
They look amazing. They smell so good. And you say to yourself, you know what? I have to order these fajitas. You get those fajitas. The presentation's amazing. They come out, they're sizzling. It fills the room with the sound of them sizzling and the aroma in the air.
Get to the point, big dog.
And then you eat them and you're like, they're all right. That is what Lamar Jackson's NFL career has been up to this point. It has been amazing. It has filled the entire room.
Still got 2
Again. There's so many other people. There's so many other names in the National Football League who you could say this about before you get to a Lamar Jackson. I'd like to remind everyone, Justin Herbert going into year 6, year 7, still has 0 playoff wins. 0, none, zilch, nada, goose egg. But these are the types of conversations we have to have about Lamar Jackson. It's all sizzle and no steak with Lamar. That's what these guys are saying.
Listen, that's amazing. That's the sizzle. That's the smell in the air. That's the environment that he has created. He has the best highlight reel to watch of any quarterback in NFL history. He's arguably the most talented man to ever touch a football and play the quarterback position. But when it gets time to be in the playoffs and actually show up and perform, he tastes like the dry-ass chicken on some fucking Chili's fajitas.
That's the take. That's the take. You know what? Here's what I want to say. I want to say that I think it's very disingenuous, to say the least, what these guys are doing. Only because, like I mentioned before, a lot of these guys are take artists. And if you've noticed, there has been a common denominator in the last 2 Lamar Jackson hot takes that I've showed you. And that common denominator is an analogy. Both of which analogies were a little bit long-winded. And the reason why I think that that's important to mention is because normally when somebody's giving a hot take and they have to kind of over-explain their analogy, it normally means they're trying to force some sort of narrative on you by desperately trying to get you to relate to what they're saying by using some other aspect of life. Forcing it. You remember Colin Cowherd said the thing about the airlines. Lamar Jackson is like a bad airline. Basically called Lamar Jackson Spirit Airlines, who's no longer around. And this guy is calling Lamar Jackson bottom of the barrel chain restaurants. Like, that's what Lamar Jackson is. You talk about a reach. This is exactly what something like this is. So I want you guys who do listen to national, bigger media outlets than myself. There's nothing wrong with listening to them, but you just have to be able to compartmentalize why they're saying what they're saying. And you got to be able to read through their tea leaves, right? Because what they do is they're very good at it too. Try to hit different parts of your brain to get you to relate, to get you to say, "Oh, that's a reasonable take," even when it's not reasonable at all. But let's keep listening though.
That's what his career in the playoffs has been. Underwhelming. Unfortunately, it has been. It's dressed up. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's put together perfectly. Yeah. It's Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton and the top defense in the league. Okay. And it's a whole game against.
By the way, Roquan Smith being like the claim to fame for the Ravens defense in 2026. Again, disingenuous.
Patrick Mahomes, and it's losing me money because you can't score.
Okay, hold up though.
Sorry.
Well, hold up. What has Josh Allen done that TJ?
And this is also more, again, just all his theatrics tell me the same thing. TJ Hushmanzada here is about to say, what has Josh Allen done that Lamar Jackson hasn't?
Hey, Lamar Jackson hasn't done.
Thank you.
Josh Allen?
I'm waiting.
Thank you.
Josh Allen went 10 for 10 in the playoff game and put
He lost.
He lost. He did lose.
He lost.
He did lose. Did he throw an interception in that game in the red zone?
But he lost.
3-1-0.
Did he
Gotta
fumble?
go.
Did he fumble the ball? while on the road.
No, but he lost.
At midfield, giving Buffalo an opportunity to score points.
Y'all got to add some new.
Wait. Because I know this man did not just bring up 3-year-old turnovers that Lamar Jackson has made in the playoffs. Turnovers that have turned 3 years old. We're still using the red zone interception that was intended for Isaiah Likely in the AFC Championship. We're still using that as weapons against Lamar. Yet it's almost like we all got hit with amnesia or the Men in Black little memory forgetting thing after that playoff performance Josh Allen had against the Denver Broncos. Oh, you know the one where he had 4 turnovers? Had potential to be 5. He fumbled again. He recovered it. But officially 4 turnovers in that game. And that was all of maybe 6 months ago. So excuse me, when you bring up playoff performance of Lamar Jackson, and I get it, he didn't make the playoffs this year. I mean, he was banged up and he had a terrible O-line and a terrible defense. What do you want him to do? And he was a play away, a field goal away from actually making the playoffs and shaking everything up last season. But when we talk about Lamar Jackson's lackluster playoff performances, why do we have to go back all these years? Why are we still bringing up old stuff is basically what I'm saying. It makes 0 sense to me. 0 sense to me. And we can't talk about, again, the 4 turnovers that got you give away 4 possessions in the playoffs. And Bills fans have been in my mentions all the past 2 days. Oh, well, you don't know because Josh Allen still had 3 touchdowns in that game and he still gave them a chance to win in overtime and things like that. Brother, disrespectfully, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Not a single one. I don't. Because at the end of the day, that playoff did not have Patrick Mahomes, who has been your boogeyman. That playoff did not have Joe Burrow in it. That playoff did not have Lamar Jackson. You, Josh Allen, were the elder statesman in the AFC playoff last year. Why aren't we talking about that? Josh Allen was the elder statesman in the AFC playoff last year. Everybody knew going into that playoff series, that playoffs, that this was supposed to be the year that Josh Allen finally breaks through. Nobody in his way to stop him except for kids. Drake May, kid. Bo Nix, kid. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert don't have as much experience. CJ Stroud, kid. So what do we have? And you go out there and you turn the football over 4 times. Oh, well, the Broncos have one of the best defenses in the league. Yeah, guess what? In the playoffs, most teams are going to have a pretty damn good defense. Just how it works. So what's Josh Allen's excuse? Number 1 quarterback in the league. What's his excuse? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And we love to act like Lamar has just fallen off some sort of cliff. We love to act like he's fallen off a cliff. And by we, I mean the national media. Not you and I, but the national media. And like I mentioned, week 3 of last season, Lamar Jackson got hurt against the Detroit Lions, where a lineman caught him from behind. Lamar Jackson was trying to take a step with his right foot. Lineman rolled up on his right foot, and Lamar said he never felt the same after that. But in those 3 weeks, those first 3 weeks of the season, in those very first 3 weeks of the season, before Lamar Jackson was compromised, Lamar Jackson led the league in passing touchdowns. He led the league in yards per attempt. And he led the league in passer rating through 3 weeks. And those 3 weeks were against the Bills, damn good team. The Browns, okay, maybe not the best team, but a damn good defense. And the Lions, damn good team. And again, he led the league in passing touchdowns, passer rating, and yards per attempt. But Lamar has fallen off. Oh, Lamar's getting old. Here's the thing. Here's what I don't like about a lot of these narratives. We act as if athletic quarterbacks, if they were to get one injury that keeps them out for maybe the majority of a season or God forbid, a whole season, whatever, we love to act like, oh, it's over. Oh, we told you so. Oh, he took too many hits. Oh, he can't do all the running around anymore. He's not going to be as good. When Lamar has shown you time and time again that not only can he dice you up from the pocket, like Jeremy Fowler claims, he can control a game with his arm. We've seen it too many times for us to keep running with the narrative that once Lamar Jackson's legs are no longer available to him, that he can't make it happen. Now, I'll tell you what, he can't make it happen if he's got a shoddy O-line who can't protect him. Because guess what? No quarterback has been able to make that happen. All right, so there's just different standards. And that's really what it boils down to. What are they really trying to tell you about Lamar Jackson? We want to be right. 9 years into his career, we still want to be right about Lamar Jackson, and we will cash in on that opportunity whenever that day comes. Some people try to get ahead of it early, but I can promise you there's an entire cohort of people out there, football fans, that have been waiting for this day, waiting for a reason to just go open season on Lamar Jackson. That number 69 rating on the top 100 list, the entire reason that you see all of these national media pundits out saying it, saying this about Lamar and that about Lamar, and maybe he is slowing down, maybe he's regressed, whatever, because the numbers don't prove that. It's all because of that number 69 rating. They feel like they have the green light now because of his own peers in the NFL, the guys who are suiting up and playing between the white on Sundays. If they're saying Lamar Jackson 69, I should be able to say that and not get destroyed on the internet. That's what they're thinking now. That's what they're thinking now. But I don't know. Maybe it's fitting. Maybe it's fitting. Maybe this just goes in line with the storybook season of Lamar Jackson that is on the precipice. The way I see it, the square root of 69 is 8 something anyway. Maybe it's all part of the plan. Maybe it's all part of the plan. Maybe it's all part of the prophecy. We'll see. We shall see. But they hold my guy to a different standard, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Mike says hating on Lamar is a character flaw. Damn near at this point, yeah. Yeah. Smitty says Ravens going to go 6-0 and speak easy, going to act like they never said that. Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are going to be walking back the takes. And again, this is why I'm keeping receipts now. Just like I'm keeping the receipts on a lot of y'all, my bait hate book, right? I'm still keeping a mental Rolodex of all these people in the national media. So don't forget he quit on his team. Yeah, he quit on his team. But again, with the season on the line, 2 touchdowns on back-to-back third downs, and then a conversion on 4th and 7 to put the team in field goal range. Quit on his team, though, right? Quit on his team. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have broken out of that sack. He would have just threw it away. Just threw it away and said, oh, well, guess it's 4th down now. Guess I'll try again. Maybe you can protect me this time. But he quit on his team. He quit on his team, but 2024 divisional rounds of the playoffs, he had 2 turnovers in the first half. Then the second half was just absolutely dog walking the Bills, walking them down. But of course, Mark Andrews fumble. Of course, Mark Andrews dropped 2-point conversion. The rest is history. But he quit on his team, though, right? Didn't put him in position to win. Why would he do that? Drove down the field with the likes of Anthony Miller and whoever the heck else with the season on the line, in the playoffs, in Buffalo, in the snow, back up against the wall. But he quit on his team. Right. 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 Makes sense. Smitty, we keeping those receipts. We keeping those receipts. Listen, y'all, one more month. One more month. Okay? One more month. Didn't have Zay or Bate, his wide receiver 1 or 2. Exactly. I would say he was throwing a you and me out there. Respectfully. But drove down the field. But he quit. You're right. He quit. That's what they said, Kingley. That's what they're saying, not me. That's what they're saying. And like I mentioned at the top of this show, guys, I've gotten to a point where I kind of like it. Okay, I kind of like all of the noise now, because this is not only fuel for Lamar Jackson, which I know it is. I know he's at home just reading everything and just probably laughing and whatnot. But this is also important for guys like Jesse Minter and Declan Doyle. Use some of this to kind of channel something within Lamar. This is why I love the fact that you have coaches who are closer to Lamar in age now as well. Because I know they're going to be able to come to Lamar and level with him and say, look, bro, we see all of the media critics and whatnot, and we know, like, you're not worried about none of that, but like, we're riding for you. And this season, like, just say something to Lamar to wake him up and and just realize, okay, my coaches, they have my back. They got my back. And we in this together. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So again, I mean, bring the slander on. Bring the slander on. All right, let's read through some comments here. So the last few years of not making it isn't enough fuel, LOL. No, it definitely is. Definitely is. We've still got that scar tissue, Afia. Don't get me wrong. There's still baggage there. But we're with a new regime now. There's a totally new culture, totally new system. I just think that it would be great for the coaches to really, really buy into Lamar emotionally as well. Say, hey, look, we didn't fuck with that shit. Okay, we didn't like them saying that you're not even a top 10. Oh, yeah. Let me show you this top 10 quarterbacks list. It's top 10 QBs list, courtesy of, again, guy who I watch frequently, Colin Cowherd. But just bulletin board material. Bulletin board material. Here are the top 10 NFL quarterbacks right now, according to Colin Cowherd. Okay. Josh Allen 1, Patrick Mahomes 2, Caleb Williams 3, Matthew Stafford 4, Justin Herbert 5, Joe Burrow 6, Sam Darnold 7, Jared Goff 8, Jordan Love 9, and Drake May 10. It's funny. I got a little bit more smoke for Justin Herbert on this one. Caleb Williams aside and all that other shit. Justin Herbert, I gotta have a word. Because when I watched the actual snippet of Colin Cowherd breaking down why he put Justin Herbert number 5 here, his reasoning, his justification was as follows. Now Justin Herbert has a big-time offensive coordinator. You guys know Mike McDaniel is now the offensive coordinator in LA for the Chargers. Cool. But he also said, Justin Herbert had a really bad O-line last season. And that was the reason why. Right? That was the reason why. No. Justin Herbert had a really bad O-line, but still went to the playoffs. And that's the reason why he ranked him number 5. And it's like, well, slow down. Okay, slow down. Because while you say that Justin Herbert is number 5 for that reason, he's so good even with a bad O-line, why are we not talking about the guy's defense? And I want to share with you guys a stat here. Very important stat. Very, very eye-opening stat. Okay, this says defenses with the highest rate of drives without allowing a first down or a touchdown in 2025. Number one, the number one defense that most of the time did not allow a first down drive. That was the Chargers at 39.5%. Above the Texans, who a lot of people love to say have the best defense in the league. Above the Raiders, Broncos, Browns, Bills, Lions, and Seahawks. Every team in the league. About 40% of the time, Jesse Minter's defense on any given drive was not giving up a first down or a touchdown. So yes, Colin Cowherd, the Chargers did make the playoffs with a shoddy O-line that Justin Herbert had to play behind. But the defense was lights out. Lights out. And when we scroll down here, you can actually take a look at defenses with the lowest rate of drives without allowing a first down or a touchdown in 2025. And clocking in right at number 29. 29th in the league was the Ravens at 25.8%. So if we're just looking at these stats here and kind of getting off of Colin Cowherd in this silly list, right, that didn't even have Lamar Jackson on it because he's getting older and he's getting banged up and he's getting hurt too much and whatever. Moving on to the Ravens. If we look at this stat line here, this tells me that we're going to be adding about 15 percentage points here in terms of getting teams off the field on defense. Getting our defense off the field without the other team scoring points or sustaining drives. That is absolutely huge. I cannot explain to you enough how big that is. Having a defense, basically having a defense that can put the other team's defense on the field as much as possible. Basically saying, no, we're not bailing you out from Derrick Henry. We're not bailing you out from Lamar Jackson and the mental warfare that comes with playing against him. We're not bailing you out from that. That's Jesse Minter's defense. That's Jesse Minter's defense, by the way. I love that. I absolutely love that. Afia says, I just want to know, what does Burrow have on these folks to constantly make these best quarterback lists in injured seasons? That's it right there. That's it right there. I made a tweet earlier today that I think kind of encapsulates this whole thing and the reason why certain guys get preferential treatment in these rankings. And here's my tweet here, and let me know if you guys agree. I said the bottom line is any quarterback that does not rely on his athleticism will always be graded on a curve, especially as they become more rare in this league. They perceive guys like Burrow and Herbert who aren't as athletic. They perceive those guys as like doing more with less kind of dude. Since it's like they can't use their legs like that. They're doing it all with their arm and they're still getting it done. So we're going to grade those guys on a curve. Because for whatever reason, they think that those guys will last longer or whatever. When again, neither of them has a leg to stand on when it comes to pitting them against Lamar Jackson in any sort of ranking. In any sort of ranking. Well, do they have more accolades than Lamar Jackson? Absolutely not. Do they have the head-to-head matchup advantage over Lamar Jackson? Absolutely not. Herbert or Burrow. And I went on to say, that's why they're coddled by the media. But that's just one of the layers of discrimination that you see here. That's just one of them. That's the first one. Since he's an athletic quarterback, they're not going to grade him on the same curve as those other guys. The second one is he's a black guy. Let's just say it, okay? He's a black dude who does things his own way. Does things his own way. How they're really not going to like it when he's scoring touchdowns this season and he's running up to his own Lamar Jackson mascot. Did you guys see that with the grills in and everything like that? Super dope. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah. Bo Nose says, I'm white as snow, and I've seen it with Lamar since draft evaluation started. Yeah, the people been pulling that. They've been pulling that card on him since draft evaluation. Oh, you're a running back. Oh, have you thought about switching to receiver? Switching to receiver? Excuse me? You show me the last quarterback who was being mocked as a wide receiver in the draft, who went on to be a 2-time NFL MVP at quarterback, 3-time first team All-Pro. Yeah, we've all seen it since the draft evaluation, Bo. We've all seen it. It's been nasty. It's been nasty. Also, Hurts. Queendom Come mentions it here. They played in Hurts phase 2. I don't understand the Hurts hate. I've never understood it. I mean, this guy could very well be sitting pretty with 2 Super Bowl rings right now. 2 Super Bowls. Like, do we understand? Like, had it not been for a holding or like a pass interference that kind of bailed the Chiefs out at the very end of that Super Bowl? At least I think that's the one. Had it not been for that, Jalen Hurts might have 2 Super Bowls off of Patrick Mahomes. Instead, he's only got 1. But still, that's more than Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Definitely way more than Justin Herbert, who has not won a playoff game yet. Yet he's consistently in top 5s, top 10 lists, right? They want to say, oh, Lamar Jackson, the playoffs not as good. Justin Herbert's never won a game. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts has actually won literal Super Bowls. Been to Super Bowls, plural. But nowhere to be found in the top 10. All right. I see what we're doing here. Listen, guys, don't forget to join the Rain Gang if you have not already. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe if you are new. We'd appreciate that here at PRP as we keep chugging along towards the season. Season's very soon, guys. It's coming up. And I got a lot of really, really big things planned for the channel. More forms of content. That's the biggest thing. I just want to take a quick sidebar here. More forms of content on the way. Obviously, we do short form content. We do a lot of long form here. But we're going to hit that sweet spot, medium form, medium length content, right? For a lot of you guys who don't have all the time to watch all of the 2-hour-long live streams. So that we will be having that this upcoming season. And I'm so excited. So excited. Yeah, they're going to move them goalposts. Nation World, a member, says that's what kills me. If they never thought he would be a great quarterback at any time in his career, how can anything he does or does not achieve be seen as disappointing? Yeah, if he started from you should be playing wide receiver, that was the baseline. He didn't come in like, oh, we're expecting this guy to be a franchise quarterback. You know, he's supposed to be next up, whatever. No. That was reserved for Sam Darnold's and Josh Rosen's and, you know, all those guys. Lamar was like, oh, you know, project. Maybe he could play some wide receiver. That's where he started from. And to be here, one of the most decorated quarterbacks in this league today. And that is a fact. I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a great point, Nation World. That's a great point. Considering where he came from. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move right along here. So enough of this before I blow a gasket in here, even though, like I said, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about the hate because I know Lamar Jackson is listening. And I was going to get to what Bart Scott had to say. You know what? Let's just take a listen to Bart. He's a former Raven. Let me just hear him out real quick. Bart Scott, what does he say about Lamar?
They say success in this league is rented, not owned, and rent's due every day. And the rent wasn't paid by Lamar Jackson last year. And, you know, what you have to ask yourself, Can Lamar Jackson adjust to being a pocket passer? Because we didn't see the explosive runs that he had last year. We're accustomed to seeing Lamar Jackson change angles, put defenses in a bind. Guys were tackling him one-on-one in space, and we're not accustomed to seeing that. And then you have to start asking yourself, what version of Lamar Jackson are we going to get going forward? New offensive coordinator, his third one. And then I started doing a deep dive. Lamar Jackson has 1,081 rush attempts. Cam Newton throughout his career had 1,118. Has the wear and tear start catching up with an athletic quarterback? And with an athletic quarterback, can't be as athletic. Is he as feared in this league? And you have to ask yourself that question. Like we say.
All right. So just more talks of, will Lamar Jackson be able to stay as athletic? And because if he doesn't, then he's going to suck at football. That's just more of that. Okay. It's just more of that. Rent is due every day. And the rent wasn't paid by Lamar Jackson last year. We just don't say these things. We just don't say these things about other quarterbacks. We don't say these things about Joe Burrow for missing the playoffs, missing rent 3 years in a row, if we want to use his analogy, right? Again, where's that common denominator? Those analogies, those damn analogies, right? To try to force some sort of crazy narrative on you. You got to be careful. They'll get you. They'll get you now. They'll get you. All right. What else did I want to move into here? Let's see. Make sure I don't miss anything. All right, I wanted to bring this up on screen here. So Ravens Wired is coming back soon and very soon. And I'm happy about that. I love seeing Ravens, media productions and things. And they dropped a little snippet here about Zay Flowers and Kyle Hamilton's little back and forth. Let's take a look.
I got you say that.
Appreciate you.
Get out. My bad. Goofy ain't there. He really is a 15-year-old though. Who? You. No. Y'all think y'all know how to play ball? They think they know how to play ball?
Real quick. See, I ain't really a fan. If this is part of the playbook right here, this wide receiver screen, the Zay type stuff.
Know how to play ball?
I'm cool on it. I'm cool on the wide receiver screens to Zay Flowers. I'm good on it now. I don't need to really see that too much. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just me.
They think they know how to play ball? Running from you? Them boys know not to put you there. They know not to put you there for too long.
Stop it. I'll give you about 1 or 2 good ones.
Hey, don't touch me no more. I'm gonna run right into you on the sideline. They throw it out.
See, I like this. I like this John back and forth with Zay to Kyle and Kyle to Zay, right? I love that. That just means that these guys are extremely close. When you see stuff like that, it means that they are literally like in lockstep, like brothers. That's what camaraderie looks like, when you can like joke with your teammates, your brothers like that, and it's like, it's all love at the end of the day. Damn near brings a tear to my eye, to be honest with you. Love seeing that. Love seeing that from Zay and Kyle Hamilton here. He said, "Don't touch me now." Man. Energy. Justin says, "Hey Sutton, did you see Lamar got his own mascot today?" Yeah, I saw that. I just brought that up a second ago. I'm super excited for that. We are so starved for football content. Oh, tell me about it, Mike. Tell me about it. Afia says, "I swear they look so much happier." They do. They seem to be a little bit more free and things like that. I mean, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see when the training camp starts, and maybe they make a Wired about that. We'll see what it looks like when the pads come on. I cannot wait. Oh, man, I cannot wait. Only what? Chat, 2 weeks. I believe it's only 2 weeks until rookies report. Maybe even less than that. Maybe like a week and change. 2 weeks. Yeah. World class. Yeah, we're like crackheads out here right now, Mike. Bo Knows says, "Oh, it's going to be there as a lure. I think Zay's getting way more bombs in addition to Tez, Lane, and Surratt. I think you're going to see Lane get some bombs this season too. You're going to see Lane get some bombs only because You're going to have a lot of, play action plays where, defenses start off heavy in the box. You're going to have Lane one-on-one down the field on the side of the field that Lamar Jackson is rolling out to. And against whatever insert 5'10" or below DB on Jacoby Lane, he's just going to throw it up. He's just going to throw it up. I went back and I watched a lot of tape from last season when Lamar was playing. And this is really from the past couple of seasons. When he had Isaiah Likely, big body target, like long target, like Isaiah Likely, who you could just trust to be like a, kind of like a basketball player, just go up and get that rebound. I think Lane is going to be that same kind of guy. He's going to fill that role, right? So we'll see. But I definitely think that you're going to see some deep balls to some of those younger guys for sure. For sure. Lane on the fade route will be sick. I definitely think, if he can get physical enough with NFL level corners on the outside to get position, because fade balls aren't just, guys at LBHT, they love to say size isn't a skill, because it's not. Fade balls is not just like put your tallest guy out on the outside and just throw it up to him. No, that guy still has to separate. Now, you don't have to separate much because it's a fade ball. It's going to the corner of the end zone. But you do have to win the positioning battle. You got to win the positioning battle. And if you can't do that, if you're not physical enough to do that, then it's gonna be tough for Jacoby Lane. But that's where I want to see him work on his game early and often. But hey, let's get you on the outside, because we're gonna have Zay in the on the inside in the slot at the Z. Got Mark Andrews, and they're gonna be working the middle of the field. Again, this is why I don't think we need Stephon Diggs, right? Because you got Zay and Mark Andrews, they're gonna be covering like the middle of the field mostly. Right. And then you can have Lane or Surratt on the outside, Bateman on the outside. Those guys making plays out there. Okay. Let me see. I wish I was going to that College Park Stadium practice. You guys have fun out there. Oh, world class is veterans report in 2 weeks. So rookies less than that. Okay, so we're looking at it like a week and a half. Week and a half. Chat, we're almost back. Okay, we are almost back. The drought is almost over, chat. I cannot wait. All right. What else do we have? Okay, so let's transition into some World Cup talk. Right? You had a game earlier today. Spain beating France 2-0. 2-0. I watched this entire game. Kind of in awe. Kind of in shock. Because I went into this game thinking, oh yeah, France, they've got this easily. This is their World Cup. I was thinking that they were going to win the whole thing. But watching this game, man, you can just see. Well, I don't even want to necessarily say that there's levels to it, because I felt like France and Spain were very evenly matched. But there was a point in the match that I think really, really swayed the outcome. And it's kind of controversial right now. Okay, it's kind of controversial right now. I want to show you guys what this is here. So in case you didn't see, there was a penalty kick that was awarded off of this play here. As you can see, it was 0-0 at this point in the match. And there's a ball coming down in the box. You have the Spain player who is kind of just throwing his body. You can see his eyes are closed and everything. Just throwing his body into number 3 here, the France player, and trying to, I guess, not allow him to clear this ball, to kick this ball. As you can see, the France player, his eyes are fixated on the ball. He is trying to make a football play. Meanwhile, you have number 19 here, who's actually 19 years old as well, who's just launching his body into the play. And he ends up getting kicked here, like on his thigh. And of course, in soccer fashion, immediately after feeling that, he's screaming in pain. He's falling to the ground. And the refs award a penalty kick here. This is just nasty, chat. I'm not going to lie. This is just nasty. That this is what it comes to in this sport. Spain was awarded a penalty kick after this. Spain got the penalty kick, so it was 1-0. And for really the majority of the game, like after that, Spain just kind of they kind of had them right where they wanted them. And it's just a shame to me that like a play like this massively swayed the course of this game. A game of this magnitude. Again, this is the World Cup semifinal. So this is like basically the AFC Championship game. And for a guy who's literally just trying to make a play on the ball against some other dude who's just launching himself, not even trying to make a play on the ball at all, just launching himself in the way. And he's awarded a penalty kick for this. And Spain takes the lead and is able to just kind of, play defensively the rest of the game. They did get another goal. So that's where I'm like, okay, France, you had your chance to equalize, whatever. But I just didn't like that the entire course of this game was shifted after this play. I don't know what you guys thought about it. I don't know if you guys watched the game. Let me see. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes studies FIFA flopping. Mike says Yamil is trying to make contact with the ball, and he does. It's a penalty. But I mean, I don't like. Is he though? Because like, bro, he's like, what part is he? Is he going for the? Is he trying to like head the ball? Is he trying to like get it off his chest? Is he trying to kick it? No, he's like literally just kind of turning his back into the France player here, just launching himself into him, knowing that the France player is going for the ball. See, he's got his eyes on the France player right here. He says, oh, he's about to try to kick this ball out. Let me just throw my body in the way. Hope he kicks me. And the moment I feel any sort of contact, I'm going to scream. I'm going to shout. I'm going to let it all out. And the ref is going to call a PK. I mean, you guys can say, those of you guys who know football more than I do, which I'm sure is a lot of you guys out there. You're going to say, oh, well, them just the rules. So them just the rules. It's like, okay. Well, I feel like there needs to be some sort of change to the rule. Like, why is it so soft? Why is it so soft? That's my question. That's my thing. Why is it so soft? I don't know, chat. I don't know. Spain's defense is impenetrable. They have not conceded a goal all tournament. I didn't know that. That's crazy. So they just been strapping everybody. You just mad because you're a France fan? Nah, no. I am a USA fan over here. We lost last week. Definitely not a France fan. Love Kylian Mbappe though, and love Dembele. Dembele, early in that game, some of those passes he was making, ooh, chef's kiss. That boy Dembele, he's the truth. He is the truth. But yeah, let me see the other goal though. I had the other goal in here too. So here was the other goal, and this is kind of where I felt like France kind of gave up a bit because, they were just kind of letting Spain kind of move and shake down here in their territory. And you can see the much more active players here are the Spain players. They're constantly trying to set things up. The France guys are just sitting around looking at the ball. They're just looking at the ball. Like, do you not realize the ball is in danger right now? Grave danger. Right? Your goalie is standing at attention. He knows that something bad is about to happen. You got to position yourself better. You got to fight for the ball. I had the same problem with the Americans in their loss. You got to fight for that. I'm sorry. You just do. This is what really put the nail in the coffin, because I mean, this was in the 57th minute. That would have left them only about, what, 37 minutes with stoppage time. I think it was like 7 minutes of stoppage time to get their get back here. And for a team in Spain who has not conceded a goal the entire cup, and you're down 2-0 with 30 minutes to go, they were basically cooked. They were basically cooked. And it was unfortunate to see because, you know, I did want to see France and Argentina. So I'm not a France fan, Juju Bean, but I did want to see France and Argentina, Mbappe versus Messi. I feel like that would have been a crazy storyline. It's been a rematch of the last cup final. But now you're going to get Spain versus, I don't know who's going to win between Argentina and England. That should be a great game tomorrow. Can't wait for that. Cannot wait for that. But World Cup is coming to an end here soon. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it a lot. And it's going to be bittersweet when it ends. All right. Okay. The one-touch assist. Yeah, those, and that's another thing. That's another thing I noticed. Like, there's just so many levels to this sport. Like that's what I meant to say at the beginning. There's so many levels, and I wasn't even talking about necessarily like France versus Spain because I feel like they're very evenly matched. But it brought me back to America's game last week. You know, the Americans, their touch is trash, right? And I'm not a soccer guy, but I know what I'm seeing when those guys get the ball passed to them and they can't handle it, and a touch or less, even shorter passes. Talking like 10, 15 yards, can't handle it and can't look to see where you're going next. Yeah, I mean, your passing avenues and your lanes are going to get shut down if you're spending a second or two trying to handle the ball. 2-3 touches to handle the ball. Meanwhile, France and Spain, oh no, they're kicking that thing. It's pinballing around. It's pinballing around. And before you know it, they're in your box. Pause. Anywho. Okay, I think that was about it, guys. I don't think there was anything else left to cover here on this episode of the show. We're getting so dangerously close back to the season, guys. I cannot wait. I am chomping at the bit to get some football back. Like my guy World Class said earlier, we have the rookies reporting to training camp in less than 2 weeks. About a week and a half, I'd say. Maybe about a week. I'm not sure. I've got to look it up. I'll be back tomorrow with you guys on that, with an update on that, right? But we're getting close, guys. So please be sure to stay locked into the channel. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. Okay? Appreciate that. I know it was outlandish. It was crazy. Ayo, all that. I said pause. Damn it. Okay? Anywho. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. As always, stay positive. Test negative. Never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. It may purple rain. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.